What if I told you a black belt laughed at the old security guard until that quiet man moved like a ghost, dismantled him without a sound, and revealed he once trained killers in war zones where mercy didn't exist? At the sleek headquarters of Iron Core Tech, the annual employee retreat was underway. The gym buzzed with energy team-building games, food trucks, and even a self-defense workshop led by Brady Carter, a loud, overly confident black belt who just joined the sales team. Brady strutted across the mats in his custom GI, showing off to his co-workers. He cracked jokes, flexed, and bragged about his tournament wins. Then he spotted someone leaning near the exit door, a quiet, broad-shouldered black man in a security uniform, Mr. Carl Benton, the building's head guard, with 62 years old. Known for being polite, silent, and always watching, Brady smirked. "Hey, Carl, wanna spar for fun?" he shouted, loud enough for everyone to hear. Laughter rippled across the gym. "Come on, man," Brady said, stepping forward. "Don't be scared, just for fun." Carl looked around as if making sure it wouldn't cause trouble. Then he nodded. "I'll try not to hurt you," Brady joked. But when Carl stepped onto the mat, hand shifted into a stance none of them had seen before. The laughter stopped cold. "Yep, what style is that?" someone whispered. Brady's grin faded. Brady moved first, fast and showing a high kick right for Carl's head, but Carl didn't blink. With barely a shift of weight, Carl slipped the kick, stepped inside, and gently tapped Brady's chest with a flat palm. Brady stumbled back, not hurt, just off balance and rattled. He came again, this time more serious low kicks, spinning strikes, trying to overwhelm. But Carl wasn't there. He was air. Every strike missed, then dash smack. Clean palm to Brady's stomach sent him to the mat. Not with force, with precision. The room froze. What just happened? Someone whispered. Carl reached down and offered Brady a hand. "You okay?" Brady looked up, dazed. "What style is that?" Carl shrugged. "System Akrav. Some old things I picked up back when I was training special forces." You could hear a pin drop. Brady's face was red, not from exertion, but from shame. The room that once echoed with his jokes was now dead silent, every pair of eyes locked on the two men standing on the mat. He couldn't believe it. A man in a wrinkled security uniform, with no belt, no gear, no crowd, had just made him look like an amateur. But Brady wasn't ready to let it go. He stood up, breathing heavier now, brushing the dust from his GI. "All right," he muttered under his breath. "No more games." Carl, the quiet black guard who'd barely moved in their last exchange, stood with the same calm expression. He wasn't breathing hard, wasn't even sweating. His hands rested at his sides, his posture loose, almost disinterested, but his eyes were different now, focused, observant, like he was reading every twitch in Brady's body. Brady roared, and came forward again. He launched a flurry of strikes, bunches, elbows, quick footwork, trying to corner Carl. It was more than just pride now. Brady needed to win back the crowd. His ego demanded it, but Carl moved like water. Every punch was slipped with inches to spare. Every kick glanced off air. He wasn't blocking, he was ghosting. His body flowed around Brady's attacks like he'd seen them all before, like he knew the rhythm of combat better than the rhythm of speech. Brady let out a frustrated grunt and aimed a spinning back kick. Carl ducked under it and, in one seamless movement, pivoted behind him, placing a single hand gently on Brady's shoulder. "Stop," Carl said, voice calm, not loud, not aggressive. Brady froze. Something about the stillness of that moment, the light pressure of Carl's hand, the way he didn't seize the advantage, didn't slam him to the ground, didn't humiliate him, hit harder than any punch ever could. Brady's breathing slowed, his fists lowered. He turned slowly to face Carl, eyes wide, not in fear but in realization. He had just been allowed to keep fighting. Carl had complete control from the start, and chose not to embarrass him. "You dropped me," Brady said, voice hushed. Carl nodded slightly. "But what would that teach you?" The room was silent. Even the onlookers who had once cheered for a takedown now stood reverently, like they'd just witnessed something sacred. "Where did you learn that?" Brady asked, this time with genuine respect. Carl looked down, humble. "I used to train soldiers, close quarters combat, real situations. Places where losing meant dying. Retired a long time ago." It hit Brady like a truck. This wasn't some janitor who got lucky. This wasn't even a retired sensei. This man had seen war, had trained warriors to survive in the most brutal, unforgiving corners of the world, and he had never once mentioned it, never demanded attention, never flaunted what he knew. All this time, Carl had walked the halls of Iron Core Tech, nodding respectfully, holding doors for interns, escorting executives to their cars while carrying the kind of experience and discipline most fighters only dream of. Brady stepped back, heart thudding, not from fear, but from awe. "I'm sorry," he said. Carl nodded again. "You're strong, Brady, but strength without stillness is just noise." That line echoed in the air. Strength without stillness is just noise. One of the junior staff members, Jason, barely 19, looked stunned. Did we just witness a masterclass?" Carl gave a half smile and stepped off the mat. "Nah, just a reminder." He returned to his post by the exit door, adjusted his earpiece, and resumed watching over the room as if nothing had happened. But everything had changed. Brady sat on the edge of the mat, shoulders slumped, but not defeated, humbled. The crowd didn't cheer. They didn't clap, because they had just learned something most people never do. The most dangerous man in the room doesn't need to prove it, and sometimes true power isn't in what you do, it's in what you choose not to do. By Monday morning, the gym wasn't just a place to stretch and sweat anymore, it had become sacred ground. The security footage had been leaked. A few employees posted short clips on TikTok, and within hours, the video titled, "Black Belt Challenges Quiet Guard and Gets Silenced Without a Punch" had exploded online. Millions of views, thousands of comments, headlines, debates, but the man at the center of it all, Carl Benton, was back at his usual post by the lobby entrance, sipping coffee from a plain stainless steel thermos and nodding politely to every employee who passed. No celebration, no interviews, no statements. He greeted people with the same quiet, calm morning. "Ma'am, good to see you, sir." Like nothing had changed, but everything had. Brady, the black belt once full of swagger, walked into work that day with a different energy. No loud jokes, no flexing, just silent acknowledgement of the lesson he had learned on that mat. He approached Carl during lunch hour, not with a challenge, but with a gesture. "I've been watching your style on slow motion," Brady said, trying to understand the control, the awareness. Carl looked at him with a faint smile. "It's not about fighting, it's about feeling what the other person intends, before they even know it themselves." Brady nodded. "Would you teach me?" Carl paused. "Teaching isn't about passing on moves, it's about passing on peace. If you're ready to unlearn, I'll show you." From that day forward, Carl took Brady under his wing. They didn't spar. They trained, not in kicks or punches, but in balance, breathing, situational awareness, control, humility. Word spread quickly around the office. Soon other employees asked Carl for lessons, not because they wanted to fight, but because they wanted what he had, that quiet confidence, that stillness, that power wrapped in humility. Carl didn't open a class. He didn't form a dojo. He just showed up 30 minutes early before his shift each day, placed a mat near the stairwell, and let anyone who wanted to listen join him. The crowd grew. Interns, executives, janitors, engineers, and in their early silence before the rush of corporate life, they learned to move, breathe, and respect. Meanwhile, the outside world kept buzzing. Carl's identity as a former military combat instructor surfaced. Veterans who served in elite units commented on the viral video, saying they recognized him. "He taught us in '06 at Camp Valor. Man was a ghost. No one could touch him. I thought he retired completely. That dude saved lives." People online were stunned. How could a man like this be working security in an office building? But Carl never explained, because he didn't need to. He once told Brady, "In war, I trained men to fight. Now, in peace, I train people to feel." That's a better legacy. Months passed. Carl still wore the same uniform, still swept the building at night, still watched over employees like a guardian. But to everyone inside Iron Corps, he was no longer just the guard. He was Master Carl, not because of belts, not because of trophies, but because he reminded them all that true greatness is quiet. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't chase applause. It simply is. One morning, as he finished showing an intern how to fall without injury, a reporter, waiting by the reception, asked him, "Do you think your story teaches people something important?" Carl looked at her for a moment, then smiled. "Yeah, it teaches that titles mean nothing. Skill without humility is noise. And sometimes the one holding the door could have broken it down years ago." She stood in awe. Then Carl returned to his post, just as he always did. Subscribe and share this story if this story moved you. Hit subscribe to hear more real, powerful stories that reveal the truth behind everyday heroes, because sometimes the most dangerous man in the room is the one holding back for your safety. Question for you: have you ever underestimated someone based on their job, age, or appearance?